Oh yeah. Oh, I am. Oh. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your favorite girl Sharonade, and today I'm back with another video. Should I start with an apology or with a thank you? Which one do you guys want to hear first? Let me start with apology or thank you. Okay, let me start with apologies. So obviously, I just want to say sorry, guys. Last 2 weeks I have not uploaded, and I can give you a myriad of excuses because they actually are there. But I'll just apologize. I'm so sorry that I haven't uploaded. So many just things behind the flu. I don't know if you guys can hear my voice. I'm also recovering from like the flu or the cold. But yeah, so there's that. But thank you guys so much for all your love and support on the previous video, guys. God bless you guys. Like, you guys really enjoyed it, and that means so much to me. Today I'm back with, I don't know which camera is mine. I'm looking over here, but I don't know if it's that camera. This one? Okay. Yeah, so today I'm back with a solo video. I really don't think I have a lot. Do I have a lot to say today? I don't know. I'm just sitting here trying to talk to you guys. But before we get into this video, guys, I also have really exciting news. We are partnering with BetterHelp. Yes. Oh, God, do it. So we're partnering up with BetterHelp. For those of you that don't know who or what BetterHelp is, it's an online therapy platform that helps you to get the right therapist for you. So for example, if you are looking for a therapist that is a black male, you can really specify. You can tell them what you look for in a therapist. If you're looking for someone that goes from a Christian point of view, they have that. From different biblical points, from different points of views, they have that for you. So guys, go and avail of that, because we all know that you don't have to wait till like you're, I don't know, down in the dumps. Like, therapy is not just for like when you're upset. It's not just for when you're sad. Sometimes it's just to have. Do you get what I mean? So book your session now, and make sure you use the discount code Sharon Speaks 10. It's not going to be on the screen. I'm not going to lie, but it's going to be in the description box below. And yes, let me know if you guys like avail of it, and like how it goes for you guys as well. So yeah, let us go, guys. Today, I was actually going to talk about, what was I going to talk about today? I don't really know, but there's been so many conversations I've been having in my life that I just kind of wanted to reiterate with you guys. And I think the biggest theme of the conversations I've been having a lot has been friendship. And I even just had a mini conversation just there with David about this as well. And like, for me, I want you guys also to like interact with this video as well. What is a friend? Like, I think that's like the number one place to start with, because I feel like, I don't know if you guys' algorithm is like mine. We live in an age where like on TikTok you're seeing, oh, if they do this, they're a good friend. If they do this, they're a terrible friend. This is reasons why you should cut people off. And it's almost kind of like the new kind of media that we are consuming. So I think recently I've kind of just been on, especially in that trajectory of life, like, what is a friend? Like, what do you guys consider a friend? And how do you scale them up? Like, how do you manage those types of relationships? I think another thing is like conflict resolution in a friend, because again, going back to what I just said, even regarding like TikToks and social media and just a lot of things you see, just like, oh, this person hates you if they do this person loves you if they do this. Like, how do you genuinely like manage conflict resolution? Because like I've been reflecting a lot. Like, I think, do I have good conflict resolution styles? I would like to say I do. I would like to say I have quite a healthy conflict resolution style. Is it always healthy? No. Sometimes I do choose violence. Not anymore though. By God's grace, I'm trying to be saved. But sometimes like it's not as like, I probably have been in positions where I'm like probably the friend that just silently cuts you off, and apparently that's a really toxic trait. You know what I mean? So yeah, how does one deal with that? Because the conversations I've been having like with my friends and people around me, it's like, what does that look like? And then how do you also know when to give grace? Because again, with this whole cutting off culture, where does grace come in? Where does, oh, okay, she's just having a bad day or bad month, a bad couple of months. Where does that actually come in? Because we're almost kind of taught to like trust nobody, suspect everybody kind of thing. And I'm just like, that's not healthy. Like, when did I ever help somebody? Like, it doesn't help me anyway because I don't like living like that. To me, that's more depressing. Like, so what's the balance? So you guys get what I'm saying here. And then like even in that, like again, how do you also know when you are the problem? Like how do you identify you being the problem? Because I think we all kind of have like, even if you're self-aware, even a self-aware person has their own blind spots, but we're all kind of have like an idealistic version of yourself. Like you might think you're one way, but then if you really ask your close friends and family for a performance appraisal, they will tell you who you really are from their perspective. Obviously, it's not a holistic perspective, but it's still a very valid perspective because these are people that spend a lot of time with you. So it's just like, how do you identify when you are the problem? If we're all so quick to like trust, again, like I said, trust nobody, suspect everybody kind of thing. And I think also the message and the narrative that's kind of being passed on in social media, it's not even kind of, it's actually very detrimental for a lot of us and our generation because of our lack of community. Like, oh my goodness, we are living in such an individualistic state. A lot of us, like, you can be in a room full of people and you literally don't have nobody. Like, I think we're really missing that community element. Like, I think I'm saying I think a lot, but like that's also something I'm trying to be very aware of in my life. Would I say that I do a good job? A community, yes, but can it be better? Of course, it can always be 10 times better. I ran into an old friend of mine recently, and I thought she didn't even live in the country anymore. She lives in my town. She still lives in the same town as me. But what's happening? Everyone is kind of like on this individualistic path. It's like, oh, only me. And it's not as sustainable as we think it could be. Like, for example, I seen this quote and it was like, if you want to go, if you want to go fast, you go alone, but if you want to go far, you go together. And I can put my hands up in some instances. Maybe I have downplayed community. I have been in communities. Maybe I didn't really necessarily, what's the word? I didn't appreciate it, or maybe take hold, like make use of it as I really should have been. But like now, I'm really, really understanding that God ate a little when He said, "Man shall not live." It's not good for man to be alone because we were not created to be alone. And even this isolation period, a lot of us try to go on. It's not as effective as we try to make it seem because you're isolating because you need to focus on yourself. And again, there's room for that because I sometimes like you do really need to like focus on yourself. But like your isolating only looks like staying in the bed. Your isolating only consists of you scrolling through social media. It's like, in fact, during your isolation period, you know more about what's going on in everybody else's life because you're just there. You're not with your friends. You're not hanging out with nobody. You're not doing anything like actually productive or actually advancing you. You're just there. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes not even sometimes having a community is like something that will really hold you accountable and keep you pressing forward. Because, guys, I've gotten to a point in life when, because sometimes I admittedly I will put my hand up. I do have quite an individualistic mindset about things, even though sometimes I do have a very communal mindset about things. But I think in the recent months, or even like maybe a year now, like I've really realized like it really takes a village. Like it takes a village to do anything. It takes a village to push a dream. Like I could be here making videos for all I care, but if I don't have my village, which is you guys watching me, like I'm just making videos for thin air. If I don't have the village that's pushing me, I have friends that are like, what's going on? Sharon Speaks. I have friends that are like, okay, let's bring this guest. I have friends that there's some days I just come to this chair and I only show up because they've done the background work for me. That is a village, and that's what keeps things going. That's what keeps people moving. And it really takes a village. And I think sometimes when we think about this, it takes a village. We're talking about raising kids, all of that. But even before then, how will you have a village to raise your kids if you haven't even established a village now? And even in the village does not need to be 20, 30 people. It really doesn't. But do you have like a solid, tight knit of people? Again, this is just questions like I'm asking myself, my friends, and I have really just been like having that discussion, like what does your village look like? Because again, sometimes on social media, your village just looks like going to have colorful picnics. Amazing. It just looks like paint and sip. Amazing. It just looks like Going for dinners, amazing. Your village is actually only aesthetically pleasing for pictures, amazing. But when real comes to real, do you really have a village? And I'm saying real, like if you're actually in financial trouble, do you have one or two people that you can be like, yo, I my finances are terrible right now. May my finances not be terrible in the name of Jesus. But like, do you have someone that if you were if your account was on zero, you know that you have somebody that can cover you. Because again, the village is not just meant to be there for like, oh, just for someone to be there. Your village is a covering. Can your village cover you? Do you have people in your village that, God forbid, will they see you suffer financially? Because a lot of people can play it out about a lot of things, but not their money. Do you have people willing to be like, no, even if it's the last 100 euro I have, I will share with you? Do you have that village? Do you have a village? Again, a village is not just about people being there, it's about covering. Do you have a village that covers you in a place of prayer? Because that is so important. Do you have a village that genuinely will go to God on your behalf? Because guys, I have been in, even though, can I say it's life threatening? It's life threatening to a degree, but not really life threatening. I've been in some situations even this year, and I had to really look at my village, and I'm like, oh, I'm blessed in this regard. Maybe in this regard I can sharpen up. But like, do you actually have people that will be like, God, we will we will wait, like we will trust in you for this person? Like, this situation really and truly has nothing to do with me, but because this is my sister, it has everything to do with me. So now I'm going to pray. So now I'm going to fast. So now I'm going to seek the face of God on your behalf, or even with you. Because, oh my goodness, I remember this, like, there was a really situation this year, and I've had friends literally rise up with me in prayer. And I was like, wow, God, you ate with this little one. But, yeah, I think it's just really really important, like that idea of like a community. Because also sometimes in our quest to like do things by ourselves and be alone, we're literally a prey to the enemy as well. Because the first thing he will really do is isolate you. And sometimes we think isolation, like we glamorize it. Like, there's a difference between isolation and consecration. Some of us, you're not consecrated, you are isolating yourself. There is a difference. And isolation will make you a prey in the hands of the enemy. If he can get you by yourself, if he can remove the people that he knows will love you, the people that he knows will pray for you, if he can remove you from those people, you will become a prey. So I say all this to say, like, community is so important, more important than we give it credit for. Like, I'm like now being very intentional about like the spaces I enter, like even places like the Hundredfold Collective, where it's really community built. This is a community led project as well, where it's like, I want a platform where we can sit, where we can feed each other, where we can have guests that can tell you about like their walk of life, tell you about the things that they've learned on the way, tell you how it's slippy on this part of the road. I fell, but I'm telling you the story so you don't fall. And it's a very very important thing. And I think it's something I really want us to like just kind of think about. If you guys even have any things you want to add on this, or even suggestions in like friendships, community, and all of that, please leave it down in the comment section down below, because it's something I'm actually really passionate about. I didn't know how passionate I was about it until recently. Like, really passionate about building that community of people, building friendship, building sisterhood, even sometimes your community in church. Me guilty. Like, even building your community in church. And I think for me now, like my community, especially, like, let me even go back to that aspect of church, it's really showing a lot more now. Because like, I had core friends in my core friends were in church. Like, I always say I have my core friends, which are not even my friends, like my family. Then I have like everyone else outside of that. But like, my core friends were in church. And my core friends are no longer in my church. Different reasons, moving here, doing this, like just different parts of life has taken us in different places. Now I'm like alone. I have to now be intentional about like building that community in church. It's scary. It's a lot. But it's something that, again, I'm really learning the importance of. Talk about like how you navigate like relationships, your conflict resolution as well. Like, are you avoiding, like, do you just, when things happen, are you just quick to be like, okay, like, let me cut you off, or let me run away, I don't like this, rather than like facing a situation as well. And like, do you know what, another situation, I'm just rambling because it's literally just me here. But another situation is like, even like, apart from obviously giving grades, the truth of the matter is some of our friends, or your friends, some of your friends don't genuinely like you. And like it's a hard pill to swallow, especially because like especially as females, like no, they said you shouldn't use female, especially as girls. I think like we really hold our friendships to a high standard. So like coming to the realization that someone doesn't like you is always going to be a painful realization, but like that's actually the truth of the matter. Like some of your friends genuinely like don't like you, and like loving and respecting yourself enough to know when to leave and when to throw in the towel. Because honestly, like I saw this quote and it was like, I'm in my era of giving up on people. And I don't want to tap in, but am I tapping in? Like, am I in my era of just being like, I'm going to leave you where you are at and I'll just keep walking my journey? Not on a, it's not, there's no beef, there's no fight, there's no nothing, but this is where you are, that's cool. I don't necessarily like this, but so I don't want to be here. So I'm going to keep walking. And then also, there's a new trend of low maintenance friendship. And I really don't know where I stand on that yet. Because in some relationships, am I low maintenance? Well, what? Yes, but then again, what is low maintenance? Like I'm not naturally as a person anyway. Like I'm not a person like you need to talk to every day. Like I'm not the friend you need to talk to every day. Do I maybe want you to talk to me at least once a week? Yes, but every single day, no, not really. And even once a week, it can literally just be like, oh, sending you the TikToks or memes or like voice notes, like just little different things. But I mean, you don't need to like. I don't need you to be all up in my grill all the time. Like I'm actually quite self sufficient in that way. But then again, life is a paradox. But then again, like self sufficient is good. But at the same time, is it really? Because a question I often ask myself is like, are you really self sufficient? Or have you just trained yourself to be this way? Because being self sufficient can actually just like, it'll save you a lot of heartache. Like if you just know, okay, I'm good by myself, but if someone is there, it's actually amazing. So it's like, are you really self sufficient, or have you just kind of like trained yourself in that way? Very, very important questions. Sometimes it's like, ooh, I ask myself a lot of questions, a lot of like, I don't know. Happiness is free, man. Happiness is actually free. But yeah, guys, that's just such a huge topic. Another question I want to ask you guys. I have my thoughts on this, and my friend and I actually had this conversation, and it's like, do you think that boys and girls can just be friends? Like, it's a real question, because do you think boys and girls can just be friends? Like, I don't think they can be best friends, but I think they can be good friends, close friends, not like necessarily besties. Because um, it's just a wild one. Maybe when we were younger, but I just feel like at this age, come on, get a grip, get a grip for real. So yeah, that's a topic I've actually been exploring as well. And oh, another thing I wanted to touch on, I was actually just thinking about on the drive here. Exam season is over for a lot of people in like college, and a lot of people are graduating, and like they're stepping into a new phase of life. And I think one thing to take note of is, as you're like leaving college and stepping into the real world, is there's a few things actually. Number one being like, this is actually your journey. I know like you finish college now, or like you're looking like to like the next stage of life, and there's a linear path in like, oh, people expect you to get the grad job, do this, settle down, buy a house, but then you need to have that mentality that this is actually your life as well. And also don't compare yourself to other people. Yes, you're looking for the job, your friend's job might come before yours. That is okay. Learn to clap while also waiting for yours. Like learn to celebrate others even though yours has not arrived yet. You might take off before your friend. That is not a reason for you to have shoulder pack, because one thing life does is come fast. Do you know what I mean? You might take off first, but you don't know where they'll be, or you don't know where you'll be in the next couple of years. So I just say all this to say, take it easy, take it one step at a time, and like literally put God at the center. Adjusting to life outside of uni is a lot. You're going to there's some days you're gonna feel like, oh yeah, like I finished, and some days you're gonna sit and you're gonna be like, wow, like not that you're a failure, but you're going to feel like, what have, like, I don't feel like I've done anything. You just learn to live in the both, because the two are actually going to exist. Take it easy, take it one day at a time. as well, but also do the needful. I think it's also in these times that like live your best life, yes, but also kind of like have a plan for like what you want. Again, bring your plan to God, and like God ultimately is the biggest planner, but like yeah, I would really just say take it easy, take it one day at a time. If things are not going well for you, they're not going the way you thought that they would, that doesn't make you any less successful, or that doesn't make you a failure. Um, it's just taking a bit longer, and learn how to like really encourage yourself in the Lord. I feel like that's really a piece of advice that I I wish I kind of got after college. And like your life is actually serious now. As scary as it sounds, it is actually really serious in the sense of like your decisions matter a lot more now. Like what you decide to do with yourself, with your time, with your finances, everything matters, because you know we use like there's this ideology you might have of like we're all in the same flock. When you're like in college, you're really, even in college you guys were never really in the same flock, but I'm telling you now, being outside of college will really show you that you guys are not on the same path. So I say this to say decisions decide destiny. Decide wisely, make wise decisions. Don't make decisions based off what is going on in terms of like, yeah, don't even make decisions based off what is going on right now. Don't make decisions on based off of like how you feel. Don't make decisions based off of like your friends. Don't make decisions based off of, oh, I just want to belong. Belong where? Belong where? So yeah, to take it easy, manage yourself, manage your finances, and never stop actually trying to learn. And because you're done college or different things, like read a book, like sign up to courses, talk to different types of people, like never stop learning. That's another thing. I'm going back to what I said about community. Make sure you're intentional about your community. Make sure like you're intentional about like pouring into the people that pour into you. Or even like if you didn't leave college, particularly with like a group of friends, if you didn't leave college with a group of friends, be intentional about like again establishing a community, because you can go fast alone, but if you want to go far, you need to go together. Um, so yeah, and obviously, guys, there's just so many other things like we can really delve into. So there's so many different topics like you can delve into, and like things that are really affecting everybody on a real day to day life as well. And I think this is another reason why I think therapy is so important. I've spoken about it here, um, as well. And it's just important. Just have someone to like talk to, vent to, and obviously pray. No, me, I'll tell you guys to pray, because my mom always says something. She goes, if you're feeling sad, by the time you go on your knees and pray, you're not gonna go come back up the same way you went back with the same way you went on your knees. And I think that that's very true. So pray. Make sure your prayer life meets the demand on your life. Because sometimes I think that's why a lot of us are overwhelmed, me included, me especially, to be fair. It's like there's a big demand on like your life, but your prayer life is not reflecting that, you're going to be overwhelmed. You get. But yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap up. David, how long was that? Was it 20 minutes? 25? Oh yeah, that was long. So I'm going to wrap up, guys. I hope I did not ramble on too long. I just wanted to come and kind of like, talk to you guys, see how you guys are doing. Hopefully new episodes, guests coming through, guys. Please let me know the guests you guys want to see on Sharon Speaks, um, as well, and I'll try my best to get them. Um, I have different topics I want to explore with different people, and I really look forward to it. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.